Welcome to my vlog. Today we're doing pole work and just some general suppling exercises and dressage stuff. So I'm setting up some trot poles. My horse is with me, helping me out. As you can see, he's pretty used to this game ever since he used to live on the Eastern Shore. And we were like the only people riding at this particular barn. I used to do this stuff all the time, so this is like the oldest hat for him. And then forgive some of the shaky cam because there was a ton of wind this day, which actually felt very, very good, but it made camera work a little bit tough for my Pivo. So this is just our warm-up. Secret needs a lot of warm-up. If you don't give him warm-up, he just won't perform. Not like he won't perform well. He just kind of says no with every step unless he feels good and loose, which is good to know. I mean, it's nice to have a horse that tells you, that won't let you mess them up that way. Thank God for his opinions. I never thought I'd say. So here, one of the things that we've been working a lot on that I think have helped a ton are like shoulder in and haunches in. So sometimes our shoulder in turns into a little bit of a leg yield because we'd been working that one for a while. And shoulder in is not new to us, but it's one that we haven't done a ton of. So you can see here, he's definitely not warmed up. Some of his transitions, especially upwards transitions, are his head comes up, his back goes a little stiff. But I have found he tends to have a very tight butt. So a lot of these suppling exercises are so useful for him because after I finish with about maybe 15-20 minutes of this, he feels like a different horse. Like you'll start to see him track up, he'll get round, his back will get loose. And what you feel from on top is the shoulders start swinging and get loose. That's what I noticed most of all, is his shoulders really free up. Which is good because I think when the massage therapist did his massage, they said he gets real tight, especially at the base of his neck. So that's what I try to focus on, is just getting all that looseness. He does like to hang on the inside rein if you put too much pressure. So here what you can kind of see is I'm like taking up rein and keeping contact, but then I'll let it go, and so that he'll be encouraged to kind of push himself into the outside rein more, so I can use that as a steering tool. And you can't get perfection right in the beginning. He's just not that horse. You really got to get him totally warmed up and loose, and that's when he gives you his best work, which I get. I'm an artist. So's he. We relate. So the way that I warm up best are a lot of these haunches in and shoulder in. Like here you can see I'm doing a haunches in. He does not love it to the right. This isn't his better direction, but he does do it. That's what I have seen the most in his attitude that's what I've seen the most change in, is his attitude. So coming 9 now, we've been working together probably 4 years at this point, and we kind of have a deal. So this, I was just asking for him to wake up a little bit because we did all this warm-up work and then he was breathing, so I gave him a big break, let him chill, and then when I wanted him to go, he was like, no. So I was like, here, do a little bit of lateral work. Loosen yourself back up and back to work. But I found that if I approach this horse in particular with that attitude of like quid pro quo, like I'll give you a break if you need a break, but you gotta try, that seems to be very effective for him. And you can see here, like his tracking up is much better than it was. He's a little bit rounder. We're slowly moving towards better roundness throughout the ride. But really just taking your time with him is kind of the biggest thing. You just can't demand perfection right away. He's an artist. He's got to work, get into his mindset. So now I'm just showing him the canter pulls, and I think this is our first canter, which I do save for like 20 minutes into the ride. And yeah, there's that transition. Ugh. So we'll work on that. Probably today I'm going out to ride, so we'll give that some work. So I'm taking up my right rein, and then I'm taking out my inside rein, and then I'm giving so that he's encouraged not to hang on his inside shoulder. And you can see it works really well. This is probably some of the best canter work that I think he's ever given me. He was a very difficult horse to get any kind of steadiness with. He either wanted to run or not go at all. So the fact that he's this responsive today is just, I keep marveling at how far he's come. So this is, we approach the canter poles, and I had to see this because he always does this. He's a tough horse because if he's decided his distance, it's very difficult to change his mind. So I let him approach it wrong and then switch leads to kind of, well, I won't say I let him. I mean, I try to control the distance, but sometimes he fools me because he's got a much bigger stride than I think even I sometimes account for because he's little. And he is kind of famous for this. If it's not a real jump, like a couple feet high, then he doesn't really count it as an anything. So he hooks his leg over instead of taking it like a fence where you hit it in stride. But I think actually just changing leads over it a couple times was enough to convince him that he didn't want to do that again. So I don't know, actually, I think we messed it up here too. No, he kept it. That's good. And you can see I'm like taking and giving on the inside rein a lot there to like rebalance him. It's another thing we've been working on is before and after the jump, we maintain balance. So this I slow mode because I wanted to see it again. Like he stayed so round, headed to the left. I was really, really happy with that. I don't think he was super happy with having to switch leads, but he did it, and he did it well. We still don't have a lead change. It's a coming, but we don't have it yet. But I think soon. I have a friend who really wants to work on that with him, so I'm going to try to get her horse to be better off property, and she's going to work with him a little bit on this, which would be wonderful. Yeah, and he just gets rounder and rounder as we go, which makes me really happy. So then I give him a nice long break because he tried really hard. And with Secret, the try, you got to reward the try. Because if he's trying, even if it's not perfect, and you don't reward him, you just lose his attitude. And he's got a lot of opinions. So here, we've taken a nice long walk break, and we're starting again. And this would be a new piece of this exercise that I was not able to accomplish last time I tried. That canter transition, yuck. But that's okay. So we go through the poles here, and then we're going to do a bending line. This is my goal. That little ground pole, and then the right bend to the canter poles. And he did this well. I was very pleasantly surprised. He was very adjustable, and he didn't quite hit the canter poles in the right stride, but he adjusted to make it work, which was cool. And maybe that's my job, but I still think it's cool that he did it himself. Maybe I shouldn't admit that he did it himself. I don't know. Yeah, so we just kept coming in weak, which probably means I needed to move him up in that corner or cut the corner a little bit or adjust, and I didn't, which is my bad, but he saved me, which was very nice of him. This was probably our only really good canter transition. He was just very connected and calm and relaxed, and he kept his head kind of low and he didn't stiffen through his back. This is pretty short right here, so I was really happy that he did this as well as he did. Yeah, such a good boy. And so relaxed. Like it was just not a big deal, which has been my goal all along. So after that, this was actually a pretty long workout, but I shortened it for this vlog to just give you some of the juiciest clips. And we just trot off. We do a little stretchy trot in which he both stretches and then immediately pokes his nose out and tries to take over, and then we have to get control back. and encourage the stretch. The cool thing about him is he's so balanced. He maintains everything well. And then, yeah, this is our after ride massage, and you can see all the yawning. Oh my goodness. So I really mistreat this horse. I'm just a real slave driver. He used to not, like, when I first started giving him massages, he was very like, what the heck is this? But now, I mean, I put him back on the cross ties and I touch him and he just starts yawning and relaxing. It's so funny. So thanks for watching my vlog. That was some pole work and dressage. I think that's what I'm gonna go do today, actually, so I should have another vlog. Hopefully even better than this one next time. Woo!